afternoon everyone, good morning, welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I'm doing this in direct sunlight because I can't see a thing. We're on the facelift today. We have various jobs to do to get this to the MOT place this afternoon. Spark plugs need changing because they're pretty knackered, I think. Door handle needs putting on. Going to put an earth strap on it as well. And then just give it all a good test just to make sure that it's all good. Probably get the tyres or wheels off, just to have a look at the brake discs and brake pads, but I think they should be all fine. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So let's get on with today's video. Right, plan today is to do a service. So we will need to drain the oil, and we will need to do the oil filter. Why did I point that and say oil filter? I've got no idea. We need to do the air filter, take that off, see what that's looking like. Oil filter, which is underneath. Do the oil change, and yeah, that's what the plan is, because the logbook says it was 2019 that it was last done. So we'll do that. Now, an update on the rest of the cars. You know, when this arrived, it was not work. I don't know, it was working. What am I saying? It was working, but the alternator had seized and the belt had snapped. So we have a new alternator which has been installed and a new belt as well. So that is now working and running correctly, as you can see. I'll be honest, just like I am with everything I try to be on this channel, that was never going to be for me. I was not going to be doing that. Changing the alternator when you've got aircon on these things is an absolute pain in the bum, and therefore I have my local mechanic that does it. Charges me, I think, like 60 quid, something like that, maybe, to do it. Something like that, I think. And then while he was doing that, I thought, well, it's 99,000 miles, let's get the cam belt and the water pump changed as well at the same time. So that has all been done. Cam belt, water pump, alternator and belt all done. So now we are good to go on that front. I'm going to take that sticker off because that, as we know, is probably going to eventually just peel off. So yeah, we'll I'll put that in the logbook. And yeah, so let's start taking things like this apart and see just how old the filter is. 2018 is the last change, or it's a filter, so probably was changed in 2019, last service. So yeah, so we've got a new one in for that one, and then we can bin that, and that's one less thing to do. Okay, oil change is done, and bumper is now back on as well, screwed into place. Just checking the first spark plug just to see whether or not they have been changed recently, and I have a feeling they haven't. We pulled one out. I don't actually have it to hand. The gap's quite large, and it looks like it's got Fiat on the branding. Not that Fiat make them, but what I mean is it's likely that they are potentially the factory ones. So just getting a replacement one. Starting to lose a tiny bit of light, so because we've already pulled one out, just going to put a new one in on cylinder 1, and then I'll come back tomorrow, and then all the other 3 can be replaced, but I don't think I have it to hand with me. So yeah, so this will have, or has had so far, is the complete oil change, oil filter, air filter. It will have the spark plugs all changed as well. There'll be an air strap in there as well that needs to be changed, just because of the age, and those tend to get frayed. Battery health is good, so we don't need to worry about that. And tyres were bad. PSI was quite low on some of them. I think it was like 15 on the end there. Although that one was also in its early 20s, although that was 35, so they're all over the place. But yeah, and then just getting there slowly but surely. Job done on the door handle. It's just not a nice job whatsoever. It's I feel a lot better if you've got two pairs of hands, but it is just it's just not a good design feature. Just doesn't seem to just, I don't know, it just seems overly complicated. This doesn't seem easy. Far from it. But anyway, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a design feature, security feature or something, but it's just not easy. But anyway, it is on, so hopefully that's a number of years of without the need to sort that again to the new owner. So yeah, beginning of February, and we are going to be looking at doing the tyres for the facelift. The problem we have is that the car has no MOT, so I can't get it to a garage to get the tyres done. So I'm going to have to take them off, put them in the car, and then drive them over. So this little task is we're going to get the tyres off. Yeah, so we better crack on with that. And as if by magic, we have two used but still very good treaded tyres. So yeah, we're gonna put those back on the rear. We will end up just giving these a brush off with a wire brush, because yeah, as I say, over time this all ends up flaking off, so give those a rub down. So yeah, let's get these back on and lowered again. Spark plugs are all done, all the checks have been done as far as I'm aware that I can remember, so all the lights etc for everything that's needed. Yeah, it's now in the hands of God to determine whether or not it's going to pass, or what the advisories may or may not be. So we will see in a few hours. Exciting times, not? Right, we are back. Not a good day, not a good day. Last year we had an advisory for the offside arm. That's now failed, so to them that's a failure. Suspension arm ball joint excessively worn near side front lower, so that's gone. There is knocking coming from it. I'll be honest, when I drove there was a bit of knocking going on. So I've ordered another one of those today. Hopefully that will turn up tomorrow. Get that looked at. Repair as soon as possible windscreen damage, but not adversely affecting driver's view. Now, the only thing I can think of is, let me flick this round. It is this mark here. I don't know if you can see that there. I don't know if I can, bear with me. You can't, well, put it this way, that's what you can't even see. And then finally, I've got brake pads wearing thin at the front and brake discs worn, and then they say an oil leak, and that's because they're saying that the sump is porous. Not good day at all. We are back. Let's get the MOT work done and try and work out if we can clear these advisories. So we need pads, discs for these. I'm going to have a look at this windscreen again, and we're going to look at, bear with me, so I'm just trying to do this opposite, oil sump, and oh yeah, bottom arm. So that's what we're going to do now. Oh, you're right. Yeah, lower arms, they are not good. So, as you know, if you could be new to Fiats and need to do them yourself, but yeah, bumper's got to come off, lower crash bar's got to come off down there, and then you've got this piece here that comes out, and then yeah, you've got to then unbolt the arm. It is quite multiple different types of tools, and yeah, it's really not easy at all. But the arm is in, just got to put the bolt back into here. But yeah, it's far from easy. So that is that done. But because changing the brake discs and brake pads, it was actually easier to take it all off. The pads are gone, but they were not good, so put in some new ones. The arm itself, to be fair, didn't really look like it was too bad. I know that looks awful, but we've been cutting that away, but didn't really feel that there was a massive amount of movement in that, so I kind of felt maybe that was a bit harsh on them. So yeah, right, it's a case of just putting in that bolt, making sure that's all ready to go, and then that is the lower arm done. And as if by magic, pads and disc is on. Starting to slightly lose light now, unfortunately, so I think tomorrow will be the other side for the pad and disc, the driver's side. But yes, the arm is on, so that is 3 advisories. Well, it was a failure, wasn't it? A failure has been sorted, and the advisories for those. So yeah, that is, bumper's back on, put into place, just very dirty now. And yeah, the wheel will go back on, and that is one side all ready for the MOT retest. Right, time to get the final pad and disc on. So and it's all done now. So I'm not going to put it on the wheel yet because we need to look at this sump again. So this is the MOT where they were not happy and they were saying, well, it's an oil leak. So they've described it as an oil leak. Which, again, Fiat 500s have this issue where eventually over time this rusts and then it becomes a bit porous, as you can see. But it isn't leaking. This has been sat here for just shy of a week. There's nothing on the ground, so it's not leaking. So just going to have a look at that. I just might apply some rust protection to it whilst the wheel's off. And don't worry, it will go on jacks. I know that's there, but that's only just for the minute. It will go on jacks when we go underneath it. So yeah, it's but that's a porous sump, which you can change. The part's probably only about 35 pound, but it's getting to the bolts. As you can see, they're all right, but the ones on the other side are an absolute pain in the arse. So but anyway, so yeah, well, so I'm just going to look at the sump there, then that wheel can go back on, and then that's that. Incidentally, while I got you, this advisory on the windscreen, again, I'm showing you again, where is it, and the only place I can see, let me see if I can get this camera in on it. Doesn't like focusing. There, that is the mark. How ridiculous, how absolutely ridiculous is that? There's no way, surely, I appreciate it is on the driver's side, but there's absolutely no way how that should ever become an advisory. It hasn't cracked, it's done nothing at all. It's done nothing. It's not even, it's, yeah. That's the mark. Insane, absolutely insane. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get them to try and write that off the list when it goes back, and I'm just going to say no, I'm not having that, and then hopefully if I speak to someone else they'll remove it, because they'll have seen that we've done pads, the discs, the arm, and yeah, so bit of a joke that. Okay, let's go underneath. Done a bit of work on this now. So that has got one coat of hammerite on it. It's not just one coat. That's done my best to absorb and get rid of any sort of any oil on there, which to be fair has come off quite easily, to be fair. And then that's just had its first coat. It doesn't look like at the bottom that anything's been put on, but that's because of the light that's on there. But actually it's had one coat that's drying, and that'll have actually two coats. We'll let that dry overnight and then apply another coat tomorrow. So yeah, it's best it's going to do on that one. So the only other thing I noticed is these pop out, so gonna fix these into place properly so that this, because you can see it's over time it's just bends out and it just ends up just popping out of there, and there's a screw missing from there, so I'm going to put that into there. So those are the other things, and then we're pretty much there. So this is now good to go. We are going to be getting this ready for, well, as I say, getting this ready, well, yeah, I suppose so, we're getting this ready to leave so I can go and have the retest done, because I believe I've sorted everything out, so hopefully we'll see what happens. Okay, today's the day we're going to get this MOT'd. Why do I keep saying MOT'd? It's already been MOT'd. This is the retest. So what can we get rid of from the advisories? What can I challenge and sort of say, you know, really, you know, is that reasonable? And we're looking obviously at the lower arm, the brake disc, the brake pads, the windscreen and the oil sump. So let's go get that done, and then I'll come back to you in another video and let you know what happened and how we got on. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Car Salvage 101 and all the videos that I'm doing. It's all appreciated. Although I don't know who you are, majority of you, it all appreciates, and my thanks go to each and every one of you. So yeah, again, if you're still watching, hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button, and I will be back again very soon with this facelift and obviously more projects as we move out of this bloody cold spell and into some warmer, hopefully, weather, so that I can work more on all the various projects that hopefully will be coming throughout the year. So I'll see you all again very, very soon.